Hello everyone, Asuk here, and today I want to quickly talk about a new exciting feature that we have been working here at Msty, and if everything goes right, it will be included in the upcoming release. But before I talk about the feature, let's talk about how we got here and what problem or problems it's trying to solve. So as you know, Msty saves everything locally without any exception. This is great because you can work offline and you don't have to worry about your data being stored on some servers. But this also means that you have this very rigid file system where you cannot access it from anywhere else, or you cannot do any backups easily, or you cannot just have your data anywhere you want. And this is especially painful with something like knowledge stacks, where you want to access your compose stacks from anywhere, any device, any platforms that we support. And as you know, especially because composing knowledge stacks with big files is not cheap or fast. And as evident by this this request, we have feature request. Let me find this. On our Discord channel, sync between devices. This is this is something that users wanted. Lots of users wanted. So we have it's pretty popular. One of the most requested features, and they just wanted to sync their knowledge stacks, which really take a while to generate. To different sync different devices. And the easiest way to solve this would have been just giving you guys a way to change the path, data path, and be done with it, right? But we wanted to go an extra mile and just make this feature more flexible and more powerful. So in the next feature, next release, you will notice that there is this plus icon which you can hide and unhide. And when you click on it, it will bring a new feature called Workspace. So if you click on it, there you go. It's create new workspace. You have a workspace, or you can create a workspace. And you have probably used workspaces in many other places, right? Many other apps. So this is not very, it's not something very new to Msty at all. So it's basically a folder where you can store your data and you can keep it anywhere. You can have multiple workspaces and you can switch between them easily. This means you can have a workspace for your personal notes, your work notes, another one for knowledge stacks maybe, and you can switch between them easily. The way I would use it is I would keep this in a cloud folder. And something like iCloud, Dropbox, and just use it from a different machine. I'm on Windows right now, but maybe I want to use it on my Windows machine, from my Windows machine. And so there's many possibilities. You can share with your teams, collaborate with your teams if you have it on shared folder, and many use cases. So creating a workspace is pretty straightforward. You give it a name. Let's be creative here and give it a name, work. Then you have to select a location where you want to save it. This is where I would save this in a cloud storage. But for now, I just select a local folder here. So open that. It will create a folder inside that, by the way. And then you just select one of the icons here. I'll just select the briefcase icon. And then you can decide what you want to carry forward or copy forward. You might already have some configuration, some prompts, some API keys, some knowledge stacks that you want to carry forward to this new workspace from the one that you are on right now. By default, we select settings and configs and prompts. You can also select API keys and knowledge stacks. API keys has a small caveat, which I will talk about after I'm done with this demo here soon. So let's just do settings and configs and prompts. And when you create a switch, there you go. Now you are on a different workspace here. The prompts are still here, as you can see, because we said, please copy. And then the models are still there. We do not copy models because they are very large. Especially some of you have gigs and gigs of models. So you don't want to do that one. But, we still point to the same model path. And you are more than welcome to change it if you want to have this different set. You can put it even in the workspace, wherever. But right now it points to the same one that you copied or created this workspace from. which in our case is the default one, and this is the default workspace. So you can easily go back to the default workspace, and you can switch back to this one as well. So when you click on this non-default workspace, custom workspace, you have a couple of options here. You can switch workspace. You can edit this one. Let's create a different icon. Maybe drop it here. Switch that one, and then you can also show in Finder, which is gonna be this one here. And I'm on Mac right now, so Windows users will see something other than Finder. So yeah, I think we'll call it Explorer. So we took care of that for you guys. Then you can also remove workspace. So let me remove workspace just to show that the idea behind the import feature. So how it works. So when you remove workspace, you have two options. Either you want to delete just to remove the workspace from here so that you still have the data folder. It's for whatever reasons, you don't want to remove the data folder, but you want to don't want to have that entry here. So you can do that. By default, that's the choice. Or you can also decide to delete the data folder. None of these have any undo. So if once you do say this, you want to delete the data folder and you say delete workspace with data folder, it's gone. So be sure about whether you want to delete this or not. So I'm just going to leave it for now, because I want to import the same folder. So remove workspace. So it's gone now. You are back to the default one. Since this, we only have default. So, the default icon here is hidden, but you can always create one. So let me import this workspace one. So this is the one that I created. So when you do open, then it brought that icon and also the name work. So that's how you would import this workspace, maybe from a different computer, maybe different, different platform, even, different device that's a different operating system. So that's how you would do it. That's it for workspace, actually. So there is not much. You create a folder, you create a workspace, you start working on it. For new users, maybe I would recommend just using a new workspace right away and you start using that. For existing users, that already have all these tabs and things like that, you can create a workspace and you can copy over your Msty.db file over if you want to do that. But for new users, I would definitely just create a new workspace and start working on that. It just makes things much easier. So I talked about the API keys. So the thing about API keys is that, as you know, Msty doesn't save the API key in the database for security reasons. Because the idea is that technically someone could look into the database, grab the database, and can mine your keys. So we save the keys in the keychain, key store, keyring, whatever your operating system calls it, for security reasons. And when you use the key, Msty actually calls the operating system, asks the operating system to give the key. And that's why sometimes you notice that it asks for the password. It doesn't ask for the password because, it needs to do, perform something or, update something or something like that one. It just asks, it is calling the operating system to give it a key, and then the operating system is saying, hey, somebody is asking for a key. Are you sure you want to give the key? And that's the idea, right? If some applications wants to grab that key, you would know. That's why it's secure. So if you, let me go back to the default one here to save some time. So as you can imagine, that could be problematic with the workspaces, especially if you don't have the keychain configured on a new device or on a different platform. You won't even be able to sync the keychain, right? So in that case, you can imagine you'll be running into the issue because we think that we have a key, and then we request for the key, but then operating system doesn't have a key, and it will throw an error. So to solve that issue, what you can do moving forward, let me delete some of these, is when you create a new provider, now we have an option to either save that securely in keychain or not. So you can say, okay, I don't want to save that in the keychain. That means it will be saved in the database as a plain text. So, I want you guys to be careful about this one. So technically somebody could grab the file and get your keys. But if somebody could just grab your keys, files like that one, you probably have, bigger problem, with the, with your security of your device than keys. So you just save it like this and, save some models, and there you go. Now you have that key, saved in the database, not in the keychain. And now when you copy forward these keys should be accessible on other devices, on other platform as well. This feature might be also be useful for some of some of our Linux users, because Linux users, for whatever reason, seems to be having an issue with keychain. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it's not configured. Sometimes it's not installed. So in that case, you probably want to just save that key as a not in a keychain but in the database. That's all I have for today. I hope you are as excited about this feature as we are. And I hope you will find it useful. If you have any feedback or suggestions, please let us know. We have always improved features that we have released based on your feedback. We have just been like that. We release something, you guys give us some feedback on new ideas and how to improve it. So yeah, looking forward to you guys trying this out, and let us know how you think about how you like it. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.